What's going on, guys? This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance. Corey even broke out his Corvette for us today. I like it. This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance show where we do our best to be the bridge between our fellow real estate investors, entrepreneurs alike, and the cryptocurrency world, because crypto is the biggest opportunity over the next year or so, and it's not even close. So welcome along on the journey. Corey, have we lost all of our money as of today?
Rugged. Unproductions in T-Bird told us that we're rugged and that it was a big giant grift. And so we lost our money, Dane. We are wrecked. I sold my Corvette. I'm selling this Corvette to make up some of our money that we're losing in SolidX. So if any of you guys want to buy a blue C8 out here in Puerto Rico, I'll even ship this new Corvette right to your address. If you want to make up for the gains that me and Dane are wrecked on, SolidX. I'd be more than happy to make this up. No, man, I think we are in good shape. In fact, I want to show the haters what I think. And I mean, I could be wrong here. This is never financial advice. I am a dude on the internet who doesn't know anything but his own opinion. That's all I know. Let me know when you see my screen, Dane. Can you see it?
Yep, gotcha. You're good.
So I'm not like a master TA guy, but I have learned a thing or two since I've been around with you guys on this beautiful crypto journey. By the way, we're going to use crypto as a wealth creation tool and use real estate as a wealth preservation tool. But I've learned a couple things throughout my journey. One, when things are getting wrecked, Dane, you need the zoom out. And we use Pulse today too, because Pulse is obviously pushing down. You need to zoom out on the daily or even weekly if you have enough data. With Pulse, you can go out on the weekly now because you have enough data to really kind of determine where your support levels are at, maybe resistances and stuff like that. Well, something like SolidX.
Corey, would you mind maximizing the screen you're on just so we could see it full screen?
Yeah, let me see it.
Or looks great. Thank you.
Here, I can even go here. I think this will make it even, or does that make it? I don't know if that made it. I got rid of some of the noise, anyways.
I like it.
So, yeah. So you always want to go out on the higher time frames to see if you're forming market structure. What's going on? Look, no matter what, you're going to have sellers. That's just how it goes. That's how markets work. And no one thought. I mean, I thought it would have gone higher here. I did, but I definitely didn't think this was going to go up forever. That's not what I thought by any stretch of the imagination, but it was a matter of like, when was it going to correct? We didn't know when we were going to see my daughter's coming in the room with her loud chair. But, on pullback, you want to look at the fib retracements. You want to look at supports. This is on the daily here. And the daily is a very strong level, especially for something that's as new as SolidX. This is a very new asset. You can't go to the weekly. You're going to see like one or two candles. You can see here on our upward trend on the third day candle, when we started trending up out of that, we actually came back and touched that trend line with this recent candle. And actually, it wouldn't surprise me if we close at the 0.618 level, which is about $100 on today's daily. It wouldn't surprise me if it did. It doesn't have to. It could actually kind of creep up from here and then form structure off this. It would also not surprise me, Dane, and it's allowed to do this without going, oh, it's rugged. It allowed them all the way down to the 0.786 too, which is around the $56 range. Well, we'll call it $60 for simplicity. But it could come all the way down to the $60 range and still have great market structure. And before pushing its next leg up, which could take a few days, maybe even a week. I don't know. It's depending on what, market makers in this coin want to do with it and how they want the structure to play out. And also depending on the other sellers in the ecosystem, how feel that, they want to exit or not. So that's my 2 cents on SolidX. I don't feel like I am right at $106 per coin. Still pretty good. Do I wish I'd got it up here? Yeah, of course. Of course I do. I would have loved to get out at $260 level. In fact, one of our groups that we're in, the Hans group, had called the $200 top, whether he made the top or not. In the story, regardless, he called it, and that's maybe where I should have learned. Probably where I took exposure off. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on SolidX. I think we're still in good shape. Even Pulse is looks like now is pushing. I don't know, Dane, if you have that chart. I don't have it up. I know you have it. It looks like Pulse might be pushing down to that low trend line that we've been talking about with our REITs out here in Puerto Rico. It could. I think there's one more support level it needs to break through, but it might be going down, guys, to like around 3078, and still would be a healthy chart on the weekly. When you look at it on the weekly, my daughter's in here. There we go. See, we broke below that support. We head down all the way to that. Well, there would be another support line there on top of the liquidity. The top of the before it went up, like it went up into the bump and came down. It could sit on top of that level there. Yeah, it could land there. But it's funny, actually, that level there, Dane, it lines up. I bet you it's going to line up with the upward bottom trend line. Look at that. If you draw a straight line,
actually really interesting.
Yeah, if you draw a straight line up of that, it might end up matching up with the trend line there, which is looking like that could be the bottom support of the upward momentum from Pulse. So
that's not that big of a dip from here in crypto terms. I mean, a 22-ish% dip, you know what I mean? 25-ish.
Yep.
Not too big a deal.
It's not. I think we're going to get it. Now, does that mean Pulse is rugged? I don't know. You listen to some people in the community, they will tell you it's rugged.
Right.
It's funny how when people's bags are not reflectant of that coin, how they get loud with their opinions. You know what I mean? Like, so if somebody don't have that coin and it's gone up 100x, well, their opinion is going to be, oh, it's got to be a rug. This has to be a scam. And then you could tell the opposite. People have their bags full. It's the Solana whales are coming over and we're going to $15,000 a coin, right? It's like this, tug of war back and forth between the community. And obviously the truth always lies in the middle. It always does. And it's fun to cut through the narratives of all this. Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, it's interesting. And that's the thing. I mean, we talk about it all the time on the show, right? Like everything's a narrative. You're just trying to find narratives that get people to buy and hold versus forever sell. Hashtag Zen. And you could, you can make a few bucks. And everybody, it cracks me about people get so bent out of shape when we're theoretically still, in my opinion, still pretty early in the totality of this bull run. We've got time. In fact, in one of the groups that we were in, it was really cool. The one guy had, in this more recent meme run, it had made, I think he said, it sounded like he'd made some really bad decisions early on when Pulse launched and lost. I'm not sure if he lost the money or the value of his portfolio had gone way down. But man, I think he said he doubled his total portfolio or doubled his holdings just from some of the more recent wins. And so there's time to win the game still. We're still, in my opinion, still pretty early in the cycle, definitely in the Pulse terms. We didn't even take it off there yet. So I like it. I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, I believe we're in shape too, for all these assets. It's funny how when the SolidX price started pulling back and the coins that were attached to SolidX pulled back. You saw other meme coins run, like Dick with Butts running really hard right now, or did really well, is doing really well. I'm happy because I put a bullet in at the bottom. I got a
Nice.
bullet in at the bottom. I'm like, okay. I'm part of Han's group. Han's, I think, the one that is called it out. He called it out in this group, and I was like, oh. And I would look at the price chart, and I was like, oh yeah. You know what's being part of these groups, man, is that like they're watching all the charts while we don't. We can't watch all the charts. And like they'll point out, they see the opportunity, and then like you go verify on the chart. You're like, oh yeah, that's it. That looks like a bottom. And it's really cool to be these groups. So yeah.
And I think in general, I think it's really valuable. So like here's a great example. If you've ever played, for instance, my family are big board game people. We love playing board games to our heart's content. And when you bring somebody new in and you play, you just don't know how they play the game. And so it could be harder to strategize in relation to that new player because once again, you just don't know how they play. And so this is pretty similar with crypto and the pulse chain ecosystem. If you can learn how other characters and people in the community play the game, and then you can simply strategize in such a way that you could figure out how to play your hand yourself and be smart about how you do things. So it's been really cool to be in there with those guys and learn from them. There's a lot of cool things they have going on, and some really good sophistication in different places, which is fun.
Now, full disclosure, it's a little more trading and back and forth than I like for my taste. Everyone has their own little tolerance of this kind of stuff, but I do participate once in a while with it. A lot of the stuff I end up missing. Like, for example, he called out Icarus in his group at launch. The community called that out. And then anybody got in on Icarus, that absolutely crushed it. And so, like, he was the
A
one
couple
that
of our
called it
guys
out.
got into it. Yeah, one guy turned $3,000 into 350 racks at the top.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of good, man. You can put that money back into Pulse, even if you're able to do it slowly and able to do it like, you know, maybe he gets out 200 grand, right? Maybe it's 250. I don't know, whatever value
Even
he
if it's
extracts
freaking
out of it.
50 grand on 3
Even
racks, like, come on.
right. And it goes into the layer one or maybe even Pulse X. Like now, like you just beefed up the blue chip. And when that runs, you're making gains on top of your gains. It's a great strategy when you do it responsibly. Now there's a way that you can wreck yourself by doing it is by, you know, participating with too many of them. And that's why I try to keep my participation very limited. The problem with that is I'm going to miss opportunities if I keep my participation limited. It's just, and I know that, and I'm okay with that because I can't sit there all day long freaking firing away at meme coins.
Sure.
Like we got one community in our group that does. I feel like he's in every single meme coin now. He's like right. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, whoa, bro, like that's great. It's great. I think it's working for him. It is working for him. It's just, you know, for me and my tolerance, you know, but I am picking the pace up a little bit. I'm participating a little more here and there, and seeing some good runners. I mean, we caught SolidX. I was able to, my first buy was at $5. My first buy. And I wish I would have backed the truck up there. I didn't, because I would be, I would be almost tired already. If I'd have backed the truck up there. But it's all right. I put more money at 10. I put more money at 20. I put more money at 40. And I even went and cleaned up my garbage portfolio at 80. So I'm still technically up on SolidX. So as long as the support, I think it could come down to 60. I think. I could be wrong. Firewell can wake up and start buying that price chart up tomorrow. But it is a good DCA level day. If somebody was wanting to get a DCA into this, if I didn't have a bag, this is where I would employ a bullet, maybe saving a bullet if it goes lower. And I definitely would be here for it. So
Yeah, credit where credit is due. Hexhog asks, is Hans Group public on Telegram? It is not, but if you would like to dig in,
you pay $50. It's cheap.
For those of you that have no money to spend on anything, then this is not for you. But if you're willing to spend $50, I put Hans's link tree in the chat. You can come in. It's the Granny Style of Investing DeFi edition. If you click on this link, it's just $50. You can come get this. And this little PDF that you get with it is good too. It's
It's a
informational.
fun
So
read. Yeah, I read through
yeah,
it.
if you don't know much about charts and how some of that stuff works, I like that. I thought it was a really good, simple way to look at things, to set some rules for yourself, to be wise. And like I said, it's only $50 and has access to the to the Telegram as part of this. So go and check that out if you want it. I put the link tree in the chat. You guys can knock yourself out.
Knock yourself out. And it's another really good community to join, Dane. I know you're not part of it no more. Is the no permissions. If you sign up for no permissions, you get no token in return. And right now this could change. It probably will, because my sister joined no permissions, and she got like her investment back from joining from the no token airdrop. That could change, being that the price is going up. Maybe he gets less in the airdrop, but it's been a fun group to be part of. I mean, I got SolidX airdrops out of there. I got the Nope airdrop out of there. Dude, I've got probably about $30,000 in airdrop the no permissions Telegram. That's wild. It's wild, dude. So
this is cool. You get 20,000 Nope tokens if you do the premium.
he just changed it. It was more. He knocked it down a level, which I don't blame him. Nope has been pumping. Nope has been pumping hard.
Oh, you used to get more tokens, is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great. Great.
Yep.
Let me show that. So it's right here.
He also did airdrops to SolidX. I mean, the guy is just, he's a I would say Randy Hilarski is the given tree of crypto. Yeah. He is the giving tree of crypto. I've been part of his community though since like almost day one. So that's also been, I'm very interactive with him. And so, but man, yeah, he is he is not cheap. Randy Hilarski is not cheap. I love that.
I like Randy. I think Randy's a good guy.
Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna go see him this year sometime. I'm gonna hang out with him out in Panama. I'm never in Panama.
Yeah, I'll come with you. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it'll be my first time there, man. We're only about an hour and a half, 2 hour plane ride from it. We can get direct flights in. It'd be easy for us. Fly on over, hang out for 3-4 days, and come on back and have a Tower bank account set all up, and yeah, fun. And maybe we can have like a little Hexagon meetup while we're out there. That'd be a blast.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. All right, let me get this set up. Cool.
I see Crypto Sloth in here. While you're doing that, I'll go and show his stuff for him. He's got his LP course going on this weekend, guys. Might want to go in there and sign up. It's very cheap. I learned a lot from him in Access in their early days. I feel like Sloth is probably like one of the more sophisticated LP providers in our community that understands the stuff very granular level. So good content, very good content for very, very cheap, for good value. So
yeah, in fact, I would say there's a ton of people in our community that have great value for the things that they're willing to share. It just cracks me up when people want to say like, never spend money for anything. Well, look, sir, if you're $50 or your few $100 you might spend for something that does a 10,000x, sure, you could look back and say, oh, I should have just put this all into crypto. But on the premise that it doesn't, gosh, some of the skill sets that you could build here while we're still relatively low can benefit you so heavily as we're going up and as we're getting close to the top of the market. Shout out to Crypto Sloth. He did an excellent LP boot camp that Corey and I both did, and that was like the sauce when it came to LPing. I learned how to get out of my positions in V3 pools to sell without hurting the price chart and make fees the whole time. I mean, there were a lot of really cool things I learned from that. These are skills if you want to be serious about your craft. You got to learn the skills, and the easiest way is just take somebody that that has it and can teach you.
Yep.
Urban
Agreed.
Productions
Agreed.
made it. I knew
We're
he'd
here.
be here. I
You
knew
were
he'd
right.
be here.
You're right. We're
Our
rugged.
money's gone.
Rugged. I was telling them earlier I got to sell my blue Corvette now because we're rugged. I had to sell my orange Corvette because we got rugged off Pulse Chain earlier by the SEC. Now I got to sell the blue Corvette because we're rugged off of SolidX. So if any of you guys, including you, Urban Productions, want to buy this beautiful blue Corvette to help me and Dane out from the money we lost from SolidX, that would be greatly appreciated there, sir. We appreciate your service. We appreciate you letting us know that we're rugged.
Yep. I'm gonna have to move into Corey's house and have him pay the bills for a while.
Let's go. I got an extra room, man. I got an extra room. It ain't gonna last very long though, because we're not paying the landlord anything. He might kick us out after a month or two. I think we'll get a good 2-month runway though.
Hey, what? Maybe there's no. Maybe there's easy squatters rules here in Puerto Rico. Who
Puerto
knows?
Rico, I don't know how those rules work here. Yeah. Or maybe it's the opposite.
This is
Maybe they come and haul
California.
you off to jail.
Right. Speaking of, man, did you see there was a documentary on Netflix? In fact, I'm curious if you guys saw this one about this guy that was a professional squatter. I'm trying to remember the state. It was a state with like terrible rules for landlords. I don't know why you don't rental out there. You what?
I think it's Washington. Go and to finish the story.
Oh, I think that sounds right. And he would go property to property, and he would stay into these properties for, I mean, multiple. The one lady, it was crazy. He moved in as a roommate, and she couldn't legally kick him out. He was there for over a year. She was scared of her life that he would come in and kill her in the night, and she couldn't get rid of him in her own property because of the stupid landlord and tenant laws out there. And that documentary was really eye-opening. If you want to be a landlord, you need to get some education into what you're getting into before you take the leap. It is not for the faint of heart.
Where you're buying your property at, because I mean that's a loophole right there in our economy where where landlords get exploited, and it's painful. It's very painful. That's why when I used to buy properties in California, Dane, it was the same. In California, they can like squat in their house for like 2 years. And like when we were buying properties to wholesale in California, I mean, there was a few different times we got some smoking deals, like literally 30 cents on the dollar on a California house. Like we were making like 6 figures, but like we just for the life of us, we couldn't get the minutes. We'd work with the investor on the other end, and we'd do everything we could, and we just couldn't. There's nothing you can do. You're with your hands tied because the way they do process their evictions out in California, that it ruins the property value when you're trying to sell to an investor, or I mean, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
There's literally houses that you couldn't give away. Like people don't even want them for free.
Because why would anybody want them if you can't get the person out of there? Like, dude, how screwed up is that in our economy?
And you were supposed to keep paying the taxes on it, the mortgage if you have one, the insurance. Oh, come on.
Yeah, how screwed up is that?
How are there squatters' rights? I don't understand that one. Like, if you come into my house illegally,
that's what Mr. Glock 45 is for.
Yeah, don't come into my house illegally. I'll show you what squatters' rights in my house are real quick.
Yeah, I thought a different story there, man. Oh shit.
Oh man, just freaking crazy. Pay me in crypto, we can get them out. Hey, when there's a will, there's a way. That's the truth.
I believe D could do it. That's we have a friend, D Nice. We call him Uncle Charles. He's out in Texas. He's a real estate OG. The guy is like OG from the streets, but he's an older guy, gentleman, and they show up in like groups of 20 to get the tenants out, and like they'll show up in groups of 20 with guns, armed, and they go in there and they manhandle the tenants out. I mean, it's a rough way to do real estate. It just sucks that you have to take real estate deals in your own hands to that level because the law or the rules around real estate are favoring, you know, people who know how to exploit the system. Okay, it's just screwed up that it works that way. And yeah, he's had to do that multiple times on his properties, but they don't mess around. They'll show up with baseball bats, they show up with guns, and they don't care.
This is
Like some of those guys.
this is all theoretical. We would never incriminate anybody. So
Oh,
you
that's
know,
right.
like,
We're all live. We shouldn't even be talking.
we would never promote anything illegal. You make your own decisions on how you would manage your own properties.
Not only are we not financial advisors, but we're also what would be a word for that one? We don't give any legal advice or any advice on how to remove tenants or go out and do clean up your property.
This is wild. Seriously, stories like, oh my gosh, stories like this just, yeah, like Sloth said, make your blood boil. My nephew just had to file for bankruptcy yesterday at age 26 due to squatters in his rental property. Seriously, like where do you start to draw the line? And once again, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just like as a theoretical thought process. Like, where do you justify? Because you're sitting there and you're like, well, on the one hand, I could try to take measures to remove said squatters, or I could declare bankruptcy. You know, like it's one of those moral dilemmas where, you know, are you telling me that the law is built in such a way that you're forced into bankruptcy because these squatters have more rights than you do as the property owner? What do you do? You know, like, you know what I would do? You had to make your own decisions there.
You buy a rental property because you're trying to help you and family. If you're trying to come up a notch, right, from that rental property, and then someone comes and exploits that, they're not only the bankrupt. I mean, he's hurting his family if he's got one, right? Maybe he's 26, he's got no kids, he's able to start over, blah blah blah. But, I mean, it's just it destroys people's lives. It's crazy to me how there's ways to exploit the system, and that's why we're not landlords anymore, guys. Me and Dane, like Dane was more of a landlord than me at one point. I had a few rental properties. Like, I will never be the one ever to manage a deal again, and I'll never the one to find a deal again. Like, I'll be the money in deals, and that's it. I'll be money in deals, and that's where true passive income comes in. But this is one reason why real estate is not passive. It's because of stuff like this, because there's laws to help people exploit the system. That gives it a foundation for exploiting an advantage of the people who are trying to come up, the entrepreneur, the guy who's taking advantage of this, you know, this great country, right, of trying to make wealth. And what happens? They get exploited because these laws and rules are in place to allow to do so. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grace says we have track, trace, and retrieve service for stolen cars in South Africa. We ask no questions. Understood, man.
That's very understandable. Yeah, that's very understandable. I feel like there's better due process stolen cars than there is like if someone basically a squatter. That's what he's doing. He stole your house.
Yeah,
he stole your house.
Exactly.
He stole your freaking house. That's what he stole your entire property. Like, fucking crazy.
No, we're not doing that. Yeah, I had 25 units. I had 25 doors, and that is not a fun business to be in when you're the operator.
No, it's not. And, my good friend David has 120 doors, and he's got some good stories, man. It's fun to go out with him at night and listen to him talk about his experience in real estate, because it's like you listen to it, and you're just like, man, that sounded like a 20-year nightmare.
Quite literally.
Like, hey, and he's done well for himself. I love David. If you're ever watching, you know who you are, and I love you to death. You know, you're one of my best friends. But man, he'll tell you, he's like, man, it's been a nightmare, but he's done well for himself.
Holy cow! He says. So Paul, so did they not have insurance that would help with any of this? I mean, I'm sure they've thought through this. So, but apparently the squatters totaled out the house and then they left. Damages so high, bankruptcy made more sense than bank repo. Wow. Wow. Special place in hell for people like that.
Yep.
Special
Because it
place
has
in hell.
destroyed his life.
Yeah. Couple of questions here in the chat. Now the title is pure clickbait. In our opinion, it hasn't rugged. Everything's gonna be fine. So yes, for those of you with this question, just clickbait title. And
I mean, I got a
we'll-
bag. I mean, rug away, sir. Rug away. Unproductions is right. And so is T-Bird. T-Bird's on Twitter going around calling it a rug too. So we'll see.
I had to mute him. I don't. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah. So much Maxiism. It's exhausting.
He plays in all the meme coins though. Like he's shilling dick with butt today.
He's still telling everybody we're gonna have $10 hex this bull run.
That's true.
Save that for somebody else. Let me this is great. Who posted? This was a really good call here. Thank you, BitBump, for posting this. Let's go ahead and share it. I have it pulled up here. Let me grab it right here. And we'll get the inside update. So Nuclear Herbs, if you guys are unaware, is a retired attorney, I believe, or not acting as an attorney for any new clients at the least, and has done a great job in distilling the case against Richard with the SEC. And here's the most recent update. So they just got off the phone with someone who attended RH's discovery hearing this morning. At their request, I will not mention them by name, but I can't possibly thank them enough. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see. For future reference, the courthouse staff took everyone's devices away except for the lawyers, so nobody could record anything if they wanted to. For background, it's incredibly unusual for anyone besides attorneys and the judge to be at discovery hearings. It's rare that the parties themselves are there. Those type of hearings are boring as could be, and most of the ones I've seen or been part of consist of attorneys complaining about stuff while the judge tries to make the children stop fighting. The average citizen takes zero interest in them. I'm sure seeing even one person watching the hearing was a surprise to everyone there, but I'm very grateful for the info. There was some conversation about Hex, Pulse, and PulseX and whether or not they will be represented. The SEC seemed to acknowledge that those are not actual entities and simply code. I'm not sure how that issue will get resolved, but I assume we'll learn more as we see this case move along. I'm not sure what good it would do to have an attorney represent code since there's no method of effectively communicating with or advising a client that doesn't actually exist. It's also
we could
hard
put the
to
code to jail.
Right, put it in jail. It's also hard to get non-existent clients to sign retainer agreements that are required by the state bar or to pay their bills. So this idea creates a whole host of real-world problems. Not unexpectedly, the SEC is looking for discovery on pretty much every issue right now and wants basically unfettered access to information about RH, his communications, his devs, influencers in the community, etc. The judge apparently wasn't willing to entertain those types of blanket requests, which is the right call. Discovery is not a fishing expedition, and overboard requests routinely get narrowed or denied altogether. I expect that to be the case here based on what I heard. She ordered the parties to discuss and come up with a more limited, targeted discovery plan and set a hearing for May 2nd, which the court indicated may be telephonic. So we may be able to listen in. It sounds like the court thought the SEC's requests were too broad and also noted that 19 months or so have passed since the SEC's service of its subpoena. Not following up or trying to oh, go ahead.
No, I didn't know. I didn't realize how long it's been.
That's wild, right?
19 months. Wow.
That's crazy. Not following up or trying to enforce something you served 19 months earlier doesn't scream urgency. And from what I understood from my source, that's how the court saw it as well. And a pretty cool move, my source also stopped and chatted with RH's attorneys after the hearing and said that RH's lawyers were supremely confident in RH's position, not just with respect to this hearing, but with respect to their ability to prevail against the SEC. It's actually a pretty remarkable thing for attorneys to just tell someone outright, unless they're talking to a journalist or some other media figure and they want to get that message out to the people. Maybe that was the case here. Who knows? But it's certainly nice to hear that directly from RH's team. My source also said that RH's lawyers told them that it would be great to have more people show up to support RH during upcoming hearings. So remember this for the October 24th oral argument, which will be the biggest event of this case so far. if you're anywhere in New York and can make it, it looks like RH's attorneys think a packed courtroom might help send a message. Again, many, many thanks for the info. That was great.
Wow. Bro,
That
that's
was
like
great.
that is bullish all over it.
All over it. Yeah. Well, maybe we need
Bullish
to make
all
it
over it.
to New York in October. Ooh, that's it's not my favorite time of the year to be in New York in October. That's chilly.
Yeah, man, I love the cold. I'll go. I'll represent us.
Ooh. Hey, I'll come with you. I don't love the cold, but I'll come with you. That'd be fun. I like
That
New
would
York.
be
New York's a
fun.
cool place to visit. I
I do
wouldn't want to
too.
live there,
I love
but
the
I like it
food,
to
man.
visit.
I love food. I love going watching the Broadway shows. I love it's a blast, man. Wow, I didn't read that today. Thank you for bringing that up. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah,
Maybe
thank you for
Pulse
mentioning
Chain
it.
is not rugged like we thought it was. Oh, maybe we're
Oh,
not
wow.
rugged.
Imagine that.
Maybe we're not rugged. Productions. Maybe SolidX isn't rugged. I don't know, buddy. I don't know.
I think we're going to
I
be
don't know
just
about
fine.
$20, bro. The points. Is it the 7? It was around $60. The 786 is around $60. To me, it would be the entry price if you're looking for very deep. 618 was $100. Oh, you got to make your financial decisions around those. Or if it's rugged, then zero. Buy at zero if it's rugged. That means if it's rugged, you could technically buy at zero, right?
Right.
No?
Get it for free.
Yeah. Yeah, you get it for free. Like, it's rugged. I mean,
it's pretty. Yeah. I'll share it again. There were some people that came in late. I think it's pretty interesting to watch charts form. So here's the SolidX price chart. Now I know this is the hourly chart. Before you guys get all bent out of shape and say, "Oh, it's only the hourly chart," I know. And the chart is new, so we're using the data that we have available to us. So if we pull the fib retracement levels, it's hanging out and consolidating right at the 618, which is pretty interesting. Even
yes.
pretty deep depression, the 786. That's only $55. So 20, I don't think we're going to get 20, but I think you're just pulling our leg too, which we appreciate. It's kind of fun to have you come in and banter with us.
Rugged, Dane. Rugged.
Money's gone, sir.
Money gone. Please, somebody come by the baby blue Corvette. I will even ship this beautiful car to you. I will ship it to you to pay for me and Dane's rug. We take payments and pulse, please.
Yes, please. Oh, that's interesting. So let's look at the liquidity. Liquidity, same as it was like 2 days ago when things were. Yeah, liquidity is the liquidity is very similar.
Unless he's pulling in and out really quick. I don't know. Like, is he that fast on pulling the liquidity and putting it back in?
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to look at, but the liquidity has been hovering at about 2 million for the last few days, for what I could tell. Yeah, I think it's fine. In fact, shout out to Crypto Coffee. I had not put this in math terms in my brain, but he did. I can't remember if it was a video or just a post on Twitter, but that was a good one. He was talking about. In fact, let me just see if I could find it. We'll have him share it with us directly.
Crypto Coffee's a good bro.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Especially for Headstrong in the Pulse Foundation. That's an amazing task he's taken on his shoulders there. Him and all the guys who are doing that. Much credit to you guys. We need it.
In fact, Corey, did you see in more recent updates, the SEC the SEC is now coming for Uniswap that topped all sorts of shade towards Richard when Richard came under fire. Now Uniswap is under fire, and we hope everybody wins.
I thought they were having some backroom deal with the SEC, like, to delist Hex since it's a security, and they would get a clean nose, right? And apparently not. That did not work out that way. And maybe they should play nice with our ecosystem, and that way we can band together. RH is putting the feelers out there to band together. A lot of his recent commentary or tweets were about banding together and going after and fighting this as one. I get it that RH pissed off a lot of people, but I think it'd be wise in everyone's best interest to band together under this and go this good fight, right? It is a good fight on our behalf.
Yeah. All right, I found it. Let me share my screen here real quick.
What are you doing now? I'm gonna comment on faster. Do it. No rug. Hey, bro, you said you were taking bribes in SolidX. Now it's rugged, bro. Sheesh. You told me yesterday. Go ahead.
Have you I hadn't put these numbers together in my brain. I'm glad that he posted this. He says, if you want to sell a crypto, it's good to have 100 times higher liquidity in the pool than the amount you're trying to cash out to reduce slippage. 100K liquidity can cash out thousands. 100 million liquidity can cash out millions. If the price of Pulse X Inc. goes up 100x, the liquidity and market cap metrics go up along with it. See, on-chain liquidity on DEX screen of Go Pulse is cool too. So that was good. I like that as a reference.
Yep, I do too. It's because people like to have they like to look at the liquidity today, and then they compare it like, okay, we do 100x. Oh, I'm about to exit. Like, no, that's not how it works. And that's a very good analogy. I love the elephant jumping into the pool.
That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
I think D-Nice brings up an interesting topic. Well, it does. Maybe I'm wrong. It does feel like maybe getting spread out a little too thin there. I don't know. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, I wouldn't call that an RH strategy. I'd call that a Zen strategy. Apparently, we know that the Zen strategy of going over to 20 blockchains, I think they did 8 to be exact, but it didn't work. No one knew where to focus their economic energy at, their time, huh?
I said, we're good for Jack.
Yeah, right. It worked good for Jack and his buddy, I think it's Akram or what's his name. Those two guys, it worked great because they knew how to mint with 90% less gas fee. No one else knew how. So, yay, good for them. So apparently it may work though, Dane, in the bull example. If Solana, if you can get marketing or eyes on the Solana Gophers and that were to pump, then I could see how that maybe would bring over some liquidity and some exposure over to the Gophers on other chains. I'm speaking I'm trying to be positive about it, right? Obviously, it did not work for Zen because Zen's been nothing but a down forever token. But what if Zen went into 100x in one of the chains? Would that liquidity start flowing over onto other chains? I don't know. It's an interesting thought process. I don't know. And so it's a fun experiment. And I still hold mine. I know he's doing something special. He did a snapshot like a week ago. If you held one on each chain, and there's supposed to be a second follow-up snapshot, and you're supposed to get something. I don't know what that's going to be about. We'll see what that is. And they have a roadmap. They have a roadmap for an NFT marketplace, I think it is, where there's auctions. I don't know. There was stuff going on. I don't he's got so much Twitter or tweets. I don't read all of them. And so
it's a lot.
They got a roadmap though. Yeah. Who knows, man? I wish they wouldn't FUD while they're trying to do this. Goatee is horrible with his strategy of trying to make Gophers go viral. That's not the good. That's never worked. That strategy of FUDding the main ecosystem or the main coin you're in to go out and branch into your own stuff never works. We saw that time and time again. In fact, that was what a Zen strategy. Zen strategy was they got integrated into the Hex community. Jack said he was a Hexakin, and then they launched their stuff, and they go, oh, he fudded the crap out of Hex and RH after he launched. And like, basically you push the community away. So you got this community come with you and buy into your vision. After you launch, you talk about how your original coin sucks. Well, who are you talking to? You're talking to the guys who they bought into, they came from Hex. If you're going to talk about their main store value, their main coin that they love sucks, you're going to push them away from you now. You're not going to have them. I guess I think in their head, they think they'll get them to buy into their protocol more, into their coin more. They'll buy more their coin more if they sell the old coin, like sell Hex to buy their coin more. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. You still have to you have to keep the good homage or the good energy about the old coin too when you're trying to do that. When you try to vampire attack, like any of you guys trying to vampire attack out, learn the lesson. After you vampire attack the community, don't go FUD the old community because you're going to lose that value back to the old community. You can't FUD it afterwards. You have to still commend it and praise it and get them all riled up for your new stuff and talk about new helps the old stuff. That's the way to vampire attack.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, there are many people worth muting. Gold Key is absolutely one of them. Yes.
Oh, he's so toxic, man.
Oh, toxic. I don't. In fact, and I'm all right with Dipcatcher. I feel like Dipcatcher posts some real useful information, but
he does.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
he does. But he can get it. I can see where it's like him and Goki just had a phone conversation, and he hung up on the phone with Goki, and he made a tweet, and I could tell when there's certain tweets that are more like, I'm like, oh, you must have been talking to Goki just now or something. It's like you all rub off on each other. We do. We all rub off on each other and our thought processes and that's why I like to surround myself with people who are positive and people who are uplifting and people who want to crush the world. Because we rub off on each other. That's saying that your net worth is if you look at anyone's closest 5 friends, you can tell what their net worth is just by looking at their 5 closest friends. It's a true saying. It actually is true. It's because we all rub off on each other. That's why I only hang out with entrepreneurs for the most part. And crypto guys. I do hang out with crypto guys. I do love you guys.
Agreed. Us too. Agreed. Well, cool, guys. This has been good. We've been going for a good amount of time now. Is there anything else you want to cover today, Corey, before we jump off? Or is this a good place to wrap it up? What do you think?
Once again, the blue C8, is available to make up for our rug SolidX. We take payments in Pulse. You know what, dude? We don't take payments in Pulse. Pulse is rugged too. If you were to look at the price chart in comparison with SolidX. So we'll take payment in Zen. Is that a good form of payment there, Dane? I don't know.
Send it quick because we'd have to flip it quick so it didn't become less valuable.
Right. Well, we definitely can't take it in Titan X. Do you know Titan X is down more than Zen is? How is that possible? How is Titan X down more than Zen? That was supposed to be the greatest protocol ever built with the best game theory, the buy and burn. It's down more than anything. Lesson learned. I hope you guys learned. That one. I consider that the most coordinated, biggest pump and dump in our community. It was in
that respect, he did a good job. That's what we're grading against. Yes. That's what we're grading against. It's just like if it's built like a loser, it's likely to be a loser. Now maybe it does something later. Who knows? Yeah.
Dude, the Ponzi's over. There's nobody putting no more ETH in the system. There's no more ETH being taken out of the system. It's just sitting there. Like, what a spark. I mean, maybe somebody built something or he built something, but that was supposed to be Hyper. And Hyper was a dud. It was a big old dud. On the price chart
already?
Oh, Hyper's been out for months.
Oh, I was waiting for the price chart to be reflected in Titan X, and I figure it wasn't out yet because nothing had happened.
Massive flop, bro.
I'm not paying that close attention over there. Yeah.
Nothing burger.
Ugh.
Nothing burger.
Imagine capitulating the bottom to go buy Zen and then dumping all your money into Titan X. Oh my gosh. For any
No,
of those
sir.
of you, if that was you, from the bottom of my heart, we really wish you well. There's still time. If you've made some bad decisions, there's still time. We've got the whole bull run ahead of us. In all seriousness, I think people are quick to want to like kick people in the nuts while they're feeling down. That is not us. So still plenty of time. If you need to right some bad decisions, just lean into the game. You can figure it out.
Literally, you shared some of the most bullish information long term for Pulse Train today on the
Right.
show. Most bullish, like whatever rights or wrongs you need to right in your journey, you have the opportunity right now with Pulse doing what it's doing. Like I'm telling you guys, privacy on clarity on this case. I mean, I was saying 1 cent pulse, no problem. Dane's like, stop being so bearish, bro. So I was, all right, 10-cent pulse. Like, I don't know. We're not financial advisors. Go buy stocks and bonds.
That's not a 10,000x.
Let's wait 3 cycles for the 10,000x. Maybe then that will be
Right.
maybe then. I'm not waiting around 3 cycles, man. I mean, I'm freaking selling this blue Corvette so I can buy the Pulse bottom, and then yeah.
Yeah,
So
Urban Productions likes the 10-cent pulse. We're gonna start saying it. We're gonna start saying $1 pulse for engagement farming so we can boost the user base. That's what we need
engagement
to do.
farming. Look, that's if course dismissed or court dismissed. That's if privacy is here. Privacy on chain is here. That's also RH is streaming. RH is streaming. Oh, also ETH ETF. There we go. ETH ETF gets approved. RH is streaming. Court clarity. Privacy. Oh, 10-cent
Hold on to your
pulse.
shorts.
Come on, let's go. Let's
go.
You guys better be flying out to Puerto Rico to visit me because it's going to be a fun time. It is going to be fun.
Just a matter of time. So we feel very confident we're in the right place at the right time. Just requires some patience. Do your own due diligence, of course. In fact, if you would like help on figuring out how to do due diligence, feel free to reach out. Corey and I are far from perfect, but we've helped tons of people get some pretty big wins. And if you need help onboarding and we can be a resource, we would love to do it. Feel free to send people our way. And with that, that's probably a good place to end. Open mic show tomorrow. Come and jump on. We'd love to have you guys. Be brave. Come show your face. We want to talk about what you want to talk about. Come and poke fun at
Urban
us.
Productions.
Yeah,
come fun us on stream.
Man. we want you to jump on. We really do. I hope you guys get the vibe here that Corey and I we're easy. We like to hang out or fun. You know, we keep it nice and simple. If you guys want to come hang out with us, it'll be cool. So that
life's too short to be serious. Yep.
See you guys.